Now I'm going to turn down the music. Oh yeah. Alright, that's better, right? It turns out I turned on the wrong music in the wrong place. But now guys, I did it. We're here. We're ready to paint. I even did it with a cat in my arms, which I feel like deserves some kind of special praise. Welcome! Welcome, folks. If you're new and you have not given us a follow, give us a follow. Tedicus Rex, you are a new follower. And there were also some followers in the night, it looks like. Let's see here. We had Level Up Dice follow us. We had Old Scratch Johnson and Sharky the Intent and Lecopus Rex. Or Lecopus K Rex? I don't know. I can't read right now. And also, we got a subscription from the Glass Cannon yesterday, who subscribed for 1 month at Tier 2, which is so awesome. I did not know that happened until I logged in today. So that's just like really cool and nice of them to do, to support me. So what are we doing today? We're going to have stream today, quite the time today, I believe. We're going to be painting this doggo here. You'll notice I already have up a reference picture. God, I love Huskies. I've always wanted one. I've never been able to acquire a Husky pup myself. But yes, we're going to be painting this Paladin pupper, and I'm so excited about it. In the corner, you're going to see, I guess it would be this. You'll see it in this corner if I point this way. Wow, it's all messed up because technically it's there, but it's also over here. Yeah, so if you look in this corner over here, you're going to see my reference picture that I chose. Ooh, Leah Day says, Huskies need a lot of activation. My brother has too. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, I've had collies. I was actually kind of sad that this Dungeons and Doggies, I'm all messed up in my cords, there we go. that this Dungeons and Doggies set did not include a paladin, or did not include a collie, but, you know, we can't have everything, right? All right, so let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and move this over. Ooh, your friend has 3 Huskies and they're rascals. We like a rascal here. I'm trying to make sure that this is... Okay, so the first thing we do is we're going to set up a couple colors, right? So Analog Amber is old hat at this by now. But first I have to choose some colors. So I guess one of the things that we need to decide is, do we want this paladin to have like gold armor or silver armor, or like silver with some gold accents? I don't know. Let me know in the chat what you think. I'm definitely going to go for, well, first we prime, but I've already done that because it's not the most interesting thing to watch, and I'm trying to keep to a strict schedule. I have another job that I picked up that literally just messaged me moments before stream and was like, can you make this meeting? And I was like, no, I need to stream. So my life is like a little chaotic, which is weird. Like everybody's lives right now, I feel like they've been something, guys. But they've been, you know, different, but I feel like my life has been thrown into chaos lately. And I just need things to go the way they are. A lot of that comes because a lot of the people I work with are on the West Coast. So like, I'll let them know before I go to bed when they're still working, you know, here's my plan for tomorrow. But then by the time they wake up and get like actually activated, they're like, oh no, this is what we need to do. But by then I'm logging off or trying to do something else. So it can be a little bit rough. But yeah, I just kind of have to, I guess, stick to my guns is the best way to describe it. And, you know, make sure that, I think for a while I wasn't really creating enough boundaries for myself in my freelance life. So I'm trying to make some boundaries. Okay. So far it looks like Amber has stated that they would like silver armor. Make those boundaries, Amber says. So yeah, so we're gonna, okay, hold on one second. I just got a text that's important. Sorry, guys. Okay, I'm getting more text messages from them. 1 second. I really hope that this doesn't just cancel the stream while it's happening. Because I don't want that to happen, but I also don't want to get fired, so that's a thing. Let's see, 11:45. Drop twice. No, Sharky. All right, guys. It looks like I'm gonna have to drop this stream for just a little bit. Let me just check with them, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. It's just Things are a little bit rough getting all set up. I just posted about this in every kind of place, though. 1 second. I'm going to try... All right. Yeah, I definitely didn't. I didn't do that because it looks like things are going haywire. Let's see. Thanks for sticking around, guys. I'm sorry that this is a little wonky right now. This was not supposed to happen like this. All right, so we have silver, and we also need to go ahead and pick out some colors, I'm guessing. Now, do we have a sense of, like, do we want this to be a paladin of a particular god? Do we have one in mind? I'm open to Pathfinder and Starfinder gods as well as D&D. That's not important to me. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead here, and I feel like this is a good misty gray. I think is good. Now we have a little bit of a, I would say, a challenge here because as you can see, and I'm just looking at the picture to my left for reference. As you can see, the Husky has like a lot of different colors going on it, and it's hard to get those all in. What I'm kind of thinking is because there's so much armor on this pupper, I kind of feel like we're not going to have to deal with a lot of it, but I'm also not going to like just straight up use black because that will start to darken everything. So I think I'm going to move up in grays and then just keep using a black wash Nuln oil from Citadel. I think that's probably the best go right now. All right. So let's move forward. I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, so we got stone gray, we've got mist gray. This is the reason I think I might actually go with putting some gold accents because with stone gray and mist gray, like then just doing silver is gonna make this dog very, very white. So yeah. So let's see here. I definitely want to do like 2 bright blue eyes. That's for sure. Oh, this color is called bloodless skin and is not at all what I was looking for. If you have bloodless skin, you probably want to get that looked at. This looks like a good husky eye color. This is LED blue. We'll see. I might want to make it give it like a little bit of an undertone. There's not a lot of room here in the eyeballs, so a lot of these just seem too white or too blue, you know? No, I like that color. There's also this one. What do you guys think? These 2 colors here? I could do that one for the eyes or this one. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, so gold armor. Yeah, I kind of feel like gold armor against, like this one, LED. Okay, you got it. You got it, friends. I keep looking for a camera that's not there because I've moved it and it's very hard. All right, sorry guys, I'm just dealing with the end of this work conversation, but we're gonna jump into it now. All right, let's pull out some golds. So we got this gold. You know, there's also this kind of like bronzy thing, this antique gold, which I think is gonna be a good start. So let's look at some of these colors together. Ah! I'm dying. I'm such a mess today, guys. What a time to be alive. All right. Hey guys, welcome. If you're new to the channel, we're painting some minis day. Minis day. We painting minis day. That's what we do here on this channel. Thank you for coming. No, we're painting some minis today, and I'm just starting to get the color scheme all together. We're gonna have some blue accents. I think what I'm gonna do is a blue and gold motif, which works for me aesthetically. So that's what we'll do. If you're new though, go ahead and give us a follow because we're painting minis today, but we do a Starfinder game on Thursdays. We do, when I say we, I mean me. I do a singing stream on Twitch Sings on Saturdays. Thanks, Genevieve. Genevieve says, you're doing great. And really, I needed that today because I'm falling apart at the seams, y'all. It's all falling apart. All right, so let's get this going. Let's see. I think this is enough for the base coat. So for anyone, I don't know if you guys want to like put a 1 in chat if you new to minis, but I try to like explain why I'm doing what I'm doing as I go. For some people, that's just what they've become used to from me, and for other people, hopefully it'll help. I'm by no means an expert. Here are some of the doggos that we've painted so far. I'm gonna try and get this here. This was our bard from last week, Goose. A sweet bard. Look at his little whatchamacallit, kazoo. And then we also have a sweet wizard boy, Cornelius. So we're expanding the party. Thanks. So yeah, so here it looks like we're gonna add more blue to the party, but that's fine. Maybe that's just the common theme of what's going on. I am gonna save this for the accents, and we're gonna go with this to start. This color is called Misty Gray. And normally I don't start with these like colors, but kind of like if you're doing like bright witch skin and things like that. Jesus Christ. So many things. So many things. Starting with light colors is just kind of part of it. You still have to water it down a little bit before you go in. I have a cat. Her name is Tonks. She's part of this now. Oh no! Browser encountered an error. What does one need to get started painting? Mike says. Matt, I'm sorry. Oh my god, so many things. Help! It's unexcusable. Okay, so what do you need to get started painting? It really depends on how deep down the well you want to go, I would say, Matt. Oh god, I put that on the wrong thing. So I would say getting started painting is kind of like the most expensive part of the hobby, for sure. This is way too thin. I borked it up on the first attempt, y'all. What a day. So I would say you definitely need to get yourself a set of paints, and a lot of them come in starter sets. So there's some that Reaper makes and some that Citadel makes, and I think the most important thing is you clearly need the primary colors, because with those you can do anything. So you're going to need a primer, you're going to need some kind of starter set in primary colors, and then you're also going to need a set of paint brushes. And most people start out with like a larger brush and medium, and then like an insane detail. And the other thing you're going to need is just as many miniatures as you can cheaply get to paint a lot. Because I think the common misconception is like, and then I'll get a miniature to paint, right? Because one miniature ain't going to do it. You really got to paint a bunch before you figure out what works for you. And then I just watch a lot of YouTube. So those are the things you need. Like, you can get a plastic cup. You don't have to have these. You can make this holder just by using like a cork or a pill bottle and putting some sticky tack on the top of it. So this is good because it helps you hold in place. You can turn the miniature all upside down and around. Those are really helpful things for sure to have. So that's kind of what I recommend to people who want to get started. Now, the differences between the two paint companies I mentioned, Reaper and Citadel, are certainly something to think about, right? So Reaper is going to be, it's what I'm using right now, and it really tends towards being a bit thinner, so you don't have to water it down so much, and I find that it's easier for newer people because of that. So that's certainly why I like it. It's Cat's gonna cat, says Tedicus Rex, and Sharky in the tent says, if you're gonna paint dogs, you're allowed to bork. That's certainly right. It's true. It's true. So yeah. So those. I hope that's helpful. I know you had another question. It disappeared because I had to refresh my browser, and I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can pull it up on the other thing. And light. You're gonna need a place with light and without cats, or be able to push your cat away. But yeah, if you have other starting painting questions, now's a good time. Of course, it's a little, you can order everything you need off of Amazon, but if you're looking to start this hobby right now in quarantine, you're going to have to, allot for a little bit more time for stuff to get there, because obviously things aren't shipping as fast or at all in some cases. Does anybody have, oh, thank you so much, Matt. Matt says, let's say you had a mini, let's say a dragon that was painted poorly, and let's say you wanted to redo it. What do you do? Now, Matt is referring to a mini that we both painted at PAX Unplugged. We took a class, and it was pretty cool. We learned some good stuff. Matt had a little struggle with how to say. Matt had a little struggle, I would say, with being patient enough for dry brushing, was what I remember to be the case. Now, he may put me right on that if I'm wrong, but that seemed to be it. Oh boy. All right. Reaper is pretty consistently shipping things in about 2 to 3 days in the US right now. It's a Sharky D10, which is really good to know. I luckily am pretty stocked with my Reaper paints. There are a couple actually Citadel things that I kind of need to get replaced. It's really hard to paint light colors, guys, because you end up I don't want to say everyone does, but I end up feeling like, oh, the color isn't the same, and then I put on too much, and then you end up, filling in the cracks and kind of destroying the integrity of the sculpt, which is certainly not my ideal situation. Are there any, I would say, like, hobbies that you guys are doing during or finding yourself going back to, or new things you're starting while you're spending more time at home, we'll say? I could say, during the apocalypse, but, that might be a little intense as a phrase. All right. So there's that. We can't do I think the best thing to do next would be to do the gold armor. So let's get to it. We know it's fantasy if there's gold armor because that shit ain't real. But that's okay. We do what we want here on the Chanel. Wow. Am I the Bob Ross of mini painting yet? Is that a thing? Tedicus Rex says, learning Japanese and working out. That's awesome. Yeah, I need to do better at like just going for walks or doing sit-ups or something because I'm slowly going crazy. Did the music just suddenly get crazy low for you? Maybe. Who knows? All right. I think I might have just hit my dial on my thing. So, guys, I know there are a lot of members of the Naish here, and I gotta tell you, our Starfinder game on Thursdays is pretty lit. I had like such a crazy episode. The last episode was all my Solarian going on like an epic quest to find her Solarian crystal. It was very much like it felt like a Jedi quest to get their lightsaber crystal, and I was obsessed with it. So it's very exciting. Oh, Leah Day said just started listening to Starfound. I'm so glad to hear that. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have all of our stuff is up on the Patreon. In fact, I'll throw it in here. We have a Patreon that is right now, during quarantine, open to all. We've just made everything free on there because we figured like people are going to be looking for ways to pass the time, and that was at least one thing we could do, is to make our Patreon tiers free to all. The reason we have a Patreon is because just like anybody doing this kind of work, we need to be able to pay for what it costs to actually run a podcast and run a stream and stuff like that. And we, of course, had just finished building our, podcast studio 1.0 when all of this happened, and none of those plans involved us having to film it from home. So we are now trying desperately to get all of the subscriptions that we need to different programs up and ready, and of course getting everybody's new webcams and stuff taken care of, because right now it's all coming out of pocket, which makes things a little bit rough on the cast, because not everybody, I think everybody in this cast is a freelancer of some kind, so we don't have really like a day job salary to rely on for that stuff. But luckily we just hit, I think, 11 or 12 patrons this past week, which was so cool, even though it's all available for free. But the kind of stuff we put on there is, if you like behind the scenes information, like videos of people talking about their character decisions, or I will put up, because I play a Vlaka, so I like that we're painting a Husky Paladin, because I play a Vlaka Solarian, and that is basically an anthro-wolf person who likes to do really fun cage matches and punch people really hard, and she has a giant Solarian fist weapon, which is really cool. And for those in the Naish, I started her voice based on Ellie as inspiration, and it just went off the fucking rails. So who even knows what kind of accent this is anymore? It's not Russian, it's not Eastern European, it is like a Nordic lilt with just a bunch of bullshit. So Tedicus Rex says, oh yeah, joining your group thanks to the Discord server. Still want to find a Starfinder book. Yeah. Oh, group. Yeah. And then Sharky in the Sky says, I've been mini painting and going on Twitch pretty heavily since the stay-at-home order went in. Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of creators, myself included, and Miles, who is our GM for Starfound over at Geeks for Good. I mean, we record Starfound on a stream that happens here, but he has his own channel, Geeks for Good, which is also fantastic, which you should check out for sure. But we've just been talking about, like, how do we fill this time? How do we help people get through this bullshit. And the best way we know how is to make stuff, right? That is the best way that we know how. Man, armor on a dog is really rough. The first coat of paint is really rough, honestly, because it's just all over the place, and then you know, make it better as things go on. I think this gold armor was... I think what I'm going to do is... I'm sorry, I don't finish any... Welcome to my stream where I finish 0 sentences that I begin. I think what I should do here is do the gold armor base, and then we will find maybe like... Maybe I'll dry brush it in some blue, like some bluish silver. I think that'll look good because there's a lot of, as I like to say on this channel, delicious ridges on this mini. Welcome though, if you guys are new and you haven't followed, please consider it. We do all sorts of storytelling content. I know I've been talking about my Starfinder game, which is, again, Starfound, and it happens here on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. The other thing, of course, that we do is paint miniatures. We play a bit of Destiny here on Fridays, and on Saturdays we sing our hearts out. Dum da dum dum. I don't know what that was, but we basically sing, and we do concerts, and it's super fun time with Twitch Sings, and I let you guys, you know, request what you want on the channel to listen to me botch or do well. I think Amber's in the chat. She enjoys those shows and is the light of my life, basically, during them. All right, now let's see here. Hold on, I have to look really closely here because I can't see. I feel like... Yeah, these are boots. These are definitely boots of a different color. Okay. You are a light. You are. Okay, I've of course gotten gold on this sweet doggo's nose, so we're going to just cover that up real quick. It looks really cool, but it is not what we are in fact going for. But yeah, I don't want to give too much away about Starfound because I know a lot of you are still either checking it out for the first time or catching up. No muzzling the doggo. No, I would never do that. Is not my intention for sure. All right. Oh. This is like the period in the mini where I just miss stuff constantly and then realize that I've missed it. All right. All right. Okay, so that's good. Now we need to figure out... This appears to be a mace. All right. Yeah, the survival kit is pretty good. Yeah, that is a good starter for sure. Yeah. All right, let's see. I need boots. I think I'm gonna make these boots brown. Is this a gross brown though? It is gross brown. I don't really like that either. like this kind of reddish brown, this ruddy letter. Yeah, leather. A ruddy letter. Don't you read that ruddy letter to me, goddammit. I don't know what's wrong with me. Has anyone here been watching a lot of, what am I trying to say? Jane Austen movies? Because I have. That's my new normal, apparently. That is my new normal. Yeah, I'm having some trubs, as they say. It's been a really long day, guys. It's been... Not in a bad way, just I have too many jobs. I think I'm working like... I got nervous when this stay went into effect, so now I have like 2 jobs that are, I would say, both asking about 30 hours of my time. So that plus the streaming is definitely a lot on my psyche. I tried to play D&D with some friends last night, and it was a little rough. I felt to borrow a phrase from Bilbo, like butter spread over too much bread. So we're working on it. It'll get better in time, I'm sure. This is the part of the miniature where I always just feel like a toddler with crayons because it all just looks like such a mess. Then, you know, like I said, you clean it up as you go, but until such a time as it is clean, woofers, as they say. Yeah, it's weird to be like, I'm at home all the time, so why am I so tired? I think I'm just, like, emotionally tired. Yes, Tiger King. So I started watching that last night, and I was like, what even in the world? And then I turned it off, not because I'm not going to watch it, but because I wasn't, like, ready to give it my full attention, and I realized I was going to want to, so... So what am I going to do here? Let's see. Yeah, I just kind of noticed in the last miniature that these doggos have boots on, which is not really something I knew. Brains are expensive. Subwoofers equal puppers. Amazing. All new things to process. Lots of brain power required. Tired because brains are expensive to run, yo. Yeah. I was cast as and read a script. This is Tedicus Rex, where I was a Jane Austen enthusiast. I was trying to woo a woman speaking in that dialect with letters in the modern time. There are Jane Austen conventions, apparently. There are. I've never been to one. I go to a lot of conventions. I've never been to one of those, but I love Jane Austen and, like, anything period drama. And I just watched Emma the other night and was just like, oh, yes. Didn't quite. And then, we were on here on Sunday night, even though it wasn't scheduled. I streamed a little bit of Vermintide with my friend Chris, where we just determined that... What's the best way to put this? We determined that any game is a role-playing game if you try hard enough. And, yeah. So we got in Vermintide, you have to basically choose from a bunch of different characters, and you stick with those characters. So he was playing this like elderly elven woman mage, and I was playing this archer elven thing. I don't know. And so I just started calling him Mother, and so we started doing the show, or not the show, we were doing the stream where we were in character the entire time, and I was like, Mother, did you know I received a box of commendations, Mother? Inside there were swords and potions galore, Mother, did you know? And because I was new to the game, I was terrible, and so at the end I was like, how many green circles do you think I will win this time, Mother? And she was like, none at all, my dear. And I was like, oh, well, that is quite evil of you to say so. And then I realized that we weren't really doing fantasy RPG, as we were playing a fantasy RPG as characters from Downton Abbey, and I didn't hate it. Like, I did not hate it. So I guess, like and subscribe if that's your shit. If that's your shit, like, come on by. So I am a strange person, I think, for a lot of reasons, but that is certainly one of them. All right, let's see here. We got true silver. That is what I want. Yeah, I super enjoy that stuff. And I did, yes, friends, I did work at a Renaissance fair for many a year. And I didst walk the streets of the Shire with pride as a member of Robin Hood's merry band. So I'm quite used to keeping up appearances, if that is your question even a little bit. Which, for those of you in the niche, is like why I'm so obsessed with Skid and all of his dialect work. Now, I am really excited because Chris, who was on that stream with me, is the same Chris who helped me to get my streaming set up back together for streaming video games. Because when I set it up, apparently we were in kind of a rush. I can't remember where he had to be and where I had to be, but we were in kind of a rush, and I ended up not realizing that I hadn't put the I'm struggling with words right now. Realizing that I hadn't put the capture card I hadn't attached the capture card correctly, so it was fine. It was in there, but suffice to say, for the last 3 months of my life when I was trying to set up this channel, I didn't have my capture card working. So that's why when I tried to stream games like The Witcher and stuff like that, that it just was not happening for me. But now, oh ho ho, my friends. We are living a different life. Yeah, it turns out plugging things in causes them to work, which we also learned with my microphone this morning. So, it's all good. This is a professional channel. I only do this professionally. It's fine. Oh, this is not where it needs to be. So right now I'm kind of trying to get underneath the doggo, which is one of the hard things because there's this whole section of all these dogs that's horizontal and you have to paint under, which is not really true for other... God, this is so annoying. How do I do this? You know what? I'm going to have to do it this way. I almost never do this, but I think this is the best way to get in there. But yeah, painting dogs has presented a lot of really weird challenges. Let's see. Sharky the Intent says, I just found out this week that I never plugged the rear fan into my home PC. I always wondered why everything was hotter than it should have been. Yeah, I know that life. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that in a big way, y'all. All right. So I think what I want to do is, okay, it's really easy to start putting way too many colors on a miniature. So I try to start with just a few, and then as I need to do stuff, I'll, change it up a little bit. Just got another email, and I'm like, oh God, oh God. Cool. Everything's fine, guys. Riveting content when I'm just like looking at my phone, I know. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to go ahead with this. And carefully cover up this gold on the nose that is now showing through in a very annoying way. All right, so I think so much peeking on the mic. Do I need to turn down my mic a little bit? Is life difficult for us? Let's see. Woo! We're gonna pull that down a little. All right, hopefully that works. I'm so sorry. I yell. So that's why I usually start my mic down low so I don't scream directly into your ear holes with my enthusiasm. Oh, when I look down and speak into... Murder Sauce. You smart. You smart. You know what? Let's do this. I think this might help a little bit. Because then it won't change. And then I will go over here. Ha! Doot deet dot. Doody doot dot. Doota doot 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 doot. Alright. Great. I'm so glad we could test that together. Someone was saying that they liked the music in the intro during the hold screen, as it were, and that's actually Murder Sauce who wrote that, so congratulate him. Give him accolades. Tell him he is the good boy. Yeah, so one of the things that I'm trying to do, y'all, as you can see on the screen, is you did it, Murder, yay! One of the things that you can see on the screen is that I am raising money for a Rode Procaster mic. And if you go to the, let's see, I'll just throw a link in here. That's one of the things that I would like to make the quality of Starfound better, because I'm now recording at home and not on the mics that we had in the studio. But it's also something that I would like so that I don't have to worry about my mic being on me. It would sit on an arm and be, here, but not in the way of me painting or doing anything else. So that would be stupendous. So I am raising money for that. If you are interested in contributing, that is a good link for it. But I appreciate you just being here if that is what you can do today. Because we out here, and it is a hard time for so many people. So many. I made this a little too Bye, Liade. Thank you so much for coming, even though... Oh my god, I'm just punching my camera. Thanks for coming, even though you're in Sweden and it's a little bit hard to get over here. I appreciate you coming to support the stream. Sleep well. Get some rest. You're gonna need it, kid. You're gonna need it. So right now, I was saying before I lost track of my shit, I'm trying to keep the numbers of colors to a minimum, right? So I have these two different browns because I want to make sure that they're all... Oh, thanks, Sharky the Intent. Thank you for coming by. Hopefully we'll see you again. But yeah, I want them to be distinct from each other, but I don't want to start putting in so many different colors that it confuses the eye in such a small place, you know? Click the little bubble with the numbers below where you enter text. What now? Where's the points redemption for a sweet rap? We could do a poem. That could be poem in the channel points section below. Speaking of, I'm going to do myself a hydrate here out of my poured cup. All right. Blah. All right, so I think we're ready for our first set of washes, which is crazy because there are just not that many intricacies here until we get to painting the armor, I think. And a little bit of the stuff on the face and whatnot. Yeah, sometimes when we're doing the singing shows, y'all, on Saturdays on Twitch Sings, it gets a little crazy because when we hit a giant like musical break, it's a time. It is a time. Oh, what's a wash? Thanks, Amber. I never thought you'd ask. So here you guys can see, this wash is Null Oil. This is a Citadel paint, and basically what they are they're like very thin down paints. So they're basically clear, but with like the tinge of a color. And what they do is they sink using the powerful force of gravity. They sink down into the different like ridges and everything on the miniature and make you look a lot more talented than you really are. So that's like fantastic. So we have to be careful here because I don't want it to get into I don't want it to get on the gold too much. So this is what's going to create that kind of gray color, but give us a little more dimension to the miniature. You don't want to put on too much because it gets darker the more and more wash you put on. But now you can see kind of the bits of this doggo's tail. The key is to go against the grain or to go, I guess I just messed it up there, but go from where you want it to be darkest, so the place of shadow, to the place of light. And then you'll pull it up slightly, right? so that the least shade or wash gets on the high points of the miniature. So like here, I want the sun to be shining on Doggo's back, so I'm going to put the deeper parts of shadow in first, and then as I drag it upwards, it will create that shadow. You can see there in the leg kind of area. We Bob Rossing it out here, friends. Now I will get the shadow here, or the wash, into the crevices underneath, because it needs to stand out against the black that we have. And as much as they're a gleaming golden paladin, they are an adventurer, so they need to have some sense of wear and tear. I just want them to still have some shine, and because they're white, you know, I want them to stay white. Okay, cool. Let's see. Analog Amber says, what kind of camera do you use? So right now I have two Logitech set up. They're just a 1080. You know, when we're in the Androids and Aliens setup, they've spent thousands of dollars on their setup, and they use Blackmagic cameras, which are incredible high definition cameras. But this is really all you need to get started. But it's certainly not. There's a huge spectrum in quality, right? Hopefully that answers your question. These cameras are each about $100, or maybe they're about $60. I can't remember which version I got. Alright, that looks like I need to get some more gold in there, huh? I would love to get a Blackmagic eventually, but they're quite expensive, so I'm kind of waiting to upgrade more before that. I think the not having to wear a lav mic when I do this would make a really big difference, because I already have a sound mixer, so adding in that Rode Procaster mic would be really helpful for sure. I see some issues that need to be fixed, like that, and then there's one over here. I feel like, where is it? There we go. Yeah, the barrier to entry for streaming is not as high as you'd think, but it's certainly not nothing. That's for sure. I feel like I keep tapping the mic, so I'm going to move this down slightly. Jesus. All right. Trying to move a little bit faster today. I felt like last time I kind of dragged a little bit during the show. It's hard because I like to chat with you guys, but I want you to actually see stuff happen. And then at the end, I felt a little rushed. So I'm trying to keep it moving along here. All right. can't see. Let's see here. All right. So, let's see. I think what I'm going to do is start using this. Should I make them, what's that term when it's like, when they have two different eye colors? Because I could do one in this darker blue and then one of the ice blue. That seems kind of cool. What are your thoughts? Drive me crazy. Yeah. I am gonna do it, Analog. We out here doing it. That's your thoughts. Yeah. You gotta make time for it. That is one of the struggly things. Okay. I feel like I'm doing surgery here. Now, I might have to take this back because it might look terrible and not be readable, but we're going to see what happens. My God, this needs to be shaken up a lot more, apparently. Your water? Ooh, I don't know, man. Watercolors might be rough. Heterochromia. Yes, that is exactly what I meant to say. Thank you, Amber. What are your thoughts on this new setup? Is it better with it in front of me? Can you see my face better? Is it worse? Do you never want to see my face again? What are your thoughts? Tell me everything, everybody. Please don't hurt my feelings. I can't see here. Oh, really? What color eyes do they have? Yeah, you really cannot even really see that, but we'll know. I'm so mad at myself. I just really used my too much the input gain. Is it too much still? Is this better? Am I better? Did I fix it? Or am I still destroying your eardrums? If I turn to the left, if I turn to the right, you know what I could do also to keep it pretty even the whole time? Can you guys hear me? I feel like that might be better. Let me know, because then I won't change my head to talk directly into it. I don't know if this heterochromia thing is going to work out on this mini. Alright, let's go ahead and grab Agrax Earthshade, yeah, the brown on the gold I think is going to be key. Okay, cool. Yeah, if that works better, that might be the way to keep this thing from being consumed by me, which I don't want to be the case. I want you guys to have an enjoyable listening experience for sure. Oh, yeah, look at that. That looks beautiful. Oh, that's too much. Too much. I complimented myself and I have regrets now. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, that looks great. All right, let's see here. All right, so it's going well. There's certainly some things that I'm excited to get into with the they're things that need to be dealt with, I think, here with more detail, and I just can't do that till I begin this next phase. All right, now let's see here. I think the next thing to do is to get back in with the white and get in with the, see how teeny this is. And what I'm going to do is go in on this to a closer view so you guys can see it a little bit better. You won't be able to see my incredible face, but you will be able to see dog. And you can see I did kind of mess up the eye on the left. But that's what it looks like after the first base coat and wash. You know, it's nothing to write home about yet, but it's a little bit to see coming together, huh? What phase is that? I haven't numbered the phases yet, but the phase is really just like this is when I go from feeling like it's a toddler to feeling like it's just kind of a mess, but it's I can see what the plan is, if that makes sense. So now it's time to go in with smaller brushes and start. For animals, I really try to get in a little bit of hair strokes. It's not like I'm trying to put in every single hair that this dog has, but it comes together in the end to make it, give it a little bit of texture. Painting the texture into like dog faces is so weird. It's just different than people faces. All right, then let's look at this dog. So they've got white, like right around their eyes. Okay. Jesus. Excuse me. Do. This is hard. Okay. Then gonna go in. To this with a darker gray. Do it on here. Give them a little white floof on the tip of the tail, but I'm going to put some of this darker gray on the head as well, like in the crest kind of area. Bless! Casting Bless is what my paladin does constantly since I can't fucking hit the broadside of a fucking barn. This is driving me crazy. Hold on, I gotta... Oh my god. I hope you guys are okay with a little bit of a quieter stream today. I'm dying out here. Yeah, I'm not literally dying. I'm just I'm feeling anxious today about a lot of stuff, so it's hard for me to keep up the chatter for some reason. This is, however, making me want a dog. For shoresies. Normally you would... Okay. This, let's see, I need... This is a good... This is going to be a good dry brush situation here. Alright, it's going okay. It's going okay. It's got... Needs more, like... Why does this keep turning off for some reason today? Chilled Cow, you're letting me down, man. because it turned it off, chilled cow? Ew. Here we go. I'm so sorry for the ad, guys. It for some reason did not go to my normal playlist. Alright, there we go. There we go with some chilled cow. Alright. Yeah. Look at this goodest boy. I think he needs a little bit more like white on either side of the muzzle. He's got to have that like white window on his face. So I'm going to keep working on that a little bit. Matt Jackson says, my mom just sent a text that began with, well, the worst case scenario has happened. And then it was about how some trees fell and hit the farmhouse no one lives in and they don't have power. Which, yes, all these things suck, but damn. That's not the worst case news, Nancy. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. All right. Okay. All right. I think what I need to do, and I'm a little scared to do it, is put some wash in the eyes so it creates that dark ring, and then put the blue color on again. I could really, really regret this in a very short period of time. But we're going to do our best and see how it goes. I am going to use my insane detail brush for this. This is a really good example of don't put wash everywhere. Just put it in the places that you want it. I usually start with wash everywhere. I usually do. There are lots of people who would not recommend that you do that. Now I'm really having a lot of trouble with like these dogs that are not the same color all over. So I guess watch me reckon with that, I suppose. I don't know what's going on under here. Damn it. This is a lot, guys. I'm struggling here. Some paints are more of a challenge than others, so it's okay to... This face is driving me crazy! Oh my god. Alright, now there we go. All right. Okay. Kind of like a Joker thing going on. Let's fix that. All right. All right. Now, as far as the scrolling and everything goes, I think what I'm going to do is make all the features on this blue to match the eyes. And that's what I am pretty sure I'm going to do. So, this might destroy my psyche, but we're going to go with it. And can enjoy watching my psyche be destroyed, why not see my face a little bit at the same time? Why not? What did dogs' noses look like? I almost asked. What a stupid question. Okay, this is black cracker. Where's my black walnut? Black walnut, where are you? Ooh, gunmetal blue. No, that's gonna be way too dark. All right. Violet shadow. Walnut brown. There we go. Is this not? Maybe it's not enough. Got to keep all the windows open. Dog's noses look boopable, she says. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whew. All right. We gonna do a boop, okay? We gonna do a boop. Oh my god, I'm so scared. There we go. Is dog nose? I feel like he's starting to look more husky-like, huh? I think the other side needs a little tender love and care. Get a little tenderness. There we go. Look at him. It's actually working. Oh my god. Whew. There was a time, guys, where I was like, I don't think this is going to be good. Even a little. Hold on. I gotta check my messages here. Great. Alright, we're doing it. I'm sorry that I've had to split my focus a little bit on the stream today, guys. I just started a new job, so it's been a little rough getting it all set up. Not like a new full-time job for anybody that's been around for... And it's like, oh, you finally got a job. No, it's another thing, but yeah, so... been good. It's with a company. I guess I could tell you guys. There's nothing stopping me from telling you guys. So I am working with a company called Creative Coding that is based out of Seattle, but is opening up their classes worldwide. Money! Yeah, exactly. It's based out of Seattle, but it's opening up worldwide, I believe, at some point. I don't really know yet. But the idea is they are doing classes for coding with kids. So it was an after school program, and then they realized, we got to start having more than just local kids, because that's only like 10 hours a week for a couple of teachers, and that's not enough to keep them. So I was brought on to help be their community manager and design kind of their new like outward branding approach and all the language they're going to use for it. So I'm really excited because someone I really respect was the person who hooked me up with the job, and working on a team with them is like kind of surreal. But yeah, so I'm doing 30 hours a week with them, which is a big change this week from my last week when I was doing 10 hours for someone and then 10 hours for something else. So now I'm doing 30 hours for this, and then 10 hours for something else, and then 10 hours for 30 hours with creative coding, and then 10 hours with game design for a new board game, and then another 10 hours usually around that for Rook and the Raven, helping with their order fulfillment. So it's been a little bit crazy transitioning. Like I've had the experience so far of building up my new jobs, but I haven't had the experience of like transitioning from like one job to the next part-time freelance gig. So it's hard and interesting for sure, or rough, as Matt says. Accidental dog words for the win on these streams, of course. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do some blue. I'm gonna change this way. My God. Let's all do some math. Part of what breaks my brain about this stuff is they're on the West Coast, so it gets a little freaky in my mind. Let's do some math. If I'm done at 1, then that is 10 their time? Yeah. All right, let's see here. La la la, doo 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 doo, doo 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 doo. This is the part that I feel may kill me, so just bear with me. Maybe not. Maybe I can't do this. Hold on. There's got to be a way. Let's see. This is really hard. How am I going to do this? I think I'm going to have to try to dry brush it. So, we're going to pray we don't ruin the mini. Did I not finish a sentence? Or did I end up finishing it? Because now I don't know what I was saying in whatever year. I'm trying to find a way to paint the details on the armor blue, but it's really difficult because they're so small, which, like, it's a miniature, duh, but it's really hard to do. So I'm trying to, I was trying to find a way to do it without risking dry brushing it and destroying the miniature, potentially. I don't think that's what's going to happen, but, like, whew. We'll see how it goes, huh? Yeah, I'm assuming that it comes out. I mean, what I'm gonna have to do here is, and it's kind of gonna mess up what I have. Not mess it up permanently, but it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Is the kind of thing that I'm dealing with right now. So, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna try to paint the gold around where I get this on, and I think that might make it a little easier. I definitely want there to be like some blue accents on this armor. It's just really hard to do. Which brings up another question that Matt asked earlier that I never quite answered. If you hate a miniature that you've painted, you can strip the paint off of it. I've never tried to do it. I know that you can. A lot of times you can just paint over what you've done. If you have done a good enough job of watering down your paints, it won't, it's kind of like getting a cover-up tattoo, right? Like, you'll have to be careful because you've already put something down. So it's not like starting fresh, but you can do that. But yeah, there is a way to, you could get, I don't know if it's paint thinner, I don't know, you have to get like paint stripper and put your miniature in there, and then you can wipe off other paint. Amber, you've done it? Whoa. Yeah, no, I have never made that attempt myself. I might have done a better job of this if I had. A lot of thoughts about how I would do this differently the next time with this miniature, which of course will never happen. But you know, you learn some things as you go, and it's all a part of the journey. What I probably would have done and what I still might do, because I might try the painting over it technique soon, if this consistently is terrible. Is like, yeah, what I probably would have done is done like just a light gold instead of a blue, because that would have melted into the other color a little bit more. Now it looks like she's some kind of like ice queen, which, I mean, it's a husky and she's from the frozen north, so maybe, but not what I intended to do for sure. I'm trying to paint over some of the places where it got too blue and carve out some more of the scrolling. Like, this side looks really good. How would I do this differently? Yeah, some of this looks good. I'm getting more into it as I paint over with the gold. It's gonna be fine. Simply Green Cleaner says Amber, to those who want to know how to redo certain things. Okay, so I don't hate this. I was a little upset before, but guys, it's coming together. Oh, I put my brush in the wrong color. It's starting to come together a little bit now that I clean it up a little. We out here. Oh wow, you haven't been able to see this at all. I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay. For some reason, this was a lot easier to keep centered last time. Where does "we out here" come from? So the first time that I heard "we out here" it's more from Dex, who's on Starfound, than anybody else. He's always like, "We dying out here, we out here, okay." And he might have gotten it from somewhere else, but that's where I first heard it, and it really made me laugh. So that's why I say it a lot, I guess. There we go. Look at this baby. I go in with the tail here. Get this wet blend going here, I think. There we go. Okay. There we go. The and catchphrase, yeah, I mean, I hear you. I have a few catchphrases. They've been going around. Oh my god. Alright, let's see here. All right, here we go. You can see I've been wet blending this tail to try and make that gradient. Then on top of that, I'll go ahead and do a dry brushing. What do you guys think this fourth oh my god. What do you guys think the fourth emote on this channel should be? Good Lord. Alright, and then I think what I'm going to do is go in here. And just put a little shadow in there. The hard thing on dogs or anything with markings is there's a difference between how you paint in the markings and how you paint in like highlights. And so sometimes those things are at odds. Like if dogs have black ears, okay, but they're supposed to be, the tips are supposed to be the lightest things, right? Because that makes it stand out. So it like kind of breaks your brain. You still only see the 3. Yeah, we don't have a 4th one yet. I was thinking about Tonks. The icon one is me. That is my character Amarukiyuka of Clan Yuka. All right. Get this out of here. Gonna get. Jesus. I'm really struggling to get my brush around all of these fucking cameras. It's driving me crazy. Jeez, I just keep knocking things over. Oh yeah, that looks great. Oh yeah, look at that! Look at his little floof. Yeah, I feel good about that. Oh yeah, you have to sub to. Thanks, man. You have to sub to Glass Cannon podcast if you want that one. That one's not one of mine. Okay, this still needs a little fixing around the back. It looks like. Alright, so I could go around the outsides, no, I'm going to make an executive decision about that. Alright, I'm going to do it in lighter golds. So I'm going to move on to highlighting the armor. I'm going to do 1 coat of brown wash on the armor, and then I'm going to move on to highlighting it with this new gold, which is one of the first paints I ever got years and years ago. It just goes to show that you can keep your paints for a really long time if you take care of them. I did not take care of this one, but it still lasted fairly well. Oh my god. Maybe I should be saving up for like a frame to go on this end of my desk instead of a mic, because this is driving me crazy. This didn't happen last time. It was not in my way like this. I tried to move to a top-down camera last week, and that worked pretty well. Jeez Louise. Oh god, it's so bad. Okay. As to your question, Mike, do people typically post when they're streaming in the Shadow Council chat? Because I haven't gone there unless I'm like streaming something that is Shadow Council related. And I do still have all my C-Team miniatures to paint, so I was going to do it when I got to those, but... Make again. Mike again. Mike again? Mike again. I said Matt. Wait, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Help. Help. Did I? That's not what I meant to do. I'm so sorry. Your name is now Michael, apparently. That's not your name at all. I'm so sorry. Well, this is not going as well as I thought it would. Oh, Mike, Matt. Y'all, I am on the struggle bus right now. This is not going how I want it to. I kind of thought the armor on this was going to be the easiest part, and I am being proven wrong at every turn. Trying to highlight and give some of these ridges a little bit of definition, but it's difficult. I think I need like a small flat brush for this. Do I have one? I'm gonna try this. I hope it doesn't. Oh, so I had put my self-promotion in there, but I didn't put like every time I go live, right? Because that seems excessive because I do that 4 times a week, so I don't want to spam. Would that be spamming? I don't know. You tell me. You're a mod in there. You know the way of it. every now and then. Yeah. Well, maybe I'll put some stuff in there. I probably won't put in the singing streams, but maybe I'll put in the minis and the... Cool. Well, I mean, as long as it's not a faux pas, that's all. I don't want to take advantage of people's attention if it's not for me, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel bad posting all the time in the Geeks for Good thing because I helped build it and because I have permission to, right? All right, Amber, thanks for coming by. Appreciate you. I'll try and stop by your stream after this for a little bit and see how you're doing. What are you going to be streaming? Oh, this is actually working. Huh. Huh. Yeah, let me zoom in here. Ooh, teaching a board game? What board game? Zoom in here and give you guys a quick look at what things really look like. Well, I just poured way too much silver out. Way too much. Like, so much silver. Well, that will be that wasted then. There we go. I need to like move over. You guys have been watching like nothing being painted for so long. For some reason, these were not. Where they were last week. I think it's coming out okay. Now I'm going to go back in and do a few more highlights, and then I think we might be pretty much done, which is crazy. There aren't as many, there are more details on this, but not as many, not as many that need to be individual painted. They could all pretty much just be bride rushed. Go ahead and Jesus. All right. Gotta let that dry for a hot second before we can do anything else. Anything else? I guess we can do the little leggies. so let's look here. God, no matter what I do, I'm not in frame. No matter what. Alright, I'm going to have to set this up differently next time. There we go. All right, y'all. I think that's pretty much it for this pupper. I'm gonna do a couple highlights on the little mace here, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with it. There we go. Check that out. All right, let me get this set up so you can actually see the finished doggo. What I need is, what's hard right now, and I need another screen for this, and I'm working on that. I have one, I just need a way to plug them both in. But it's hard for me to, look at him. He looks great. I can't see chat and see my live feed at the same time, so I'm gonna have to fix that for next time, I think. Let's do a little highlight here. I'm always like, he's done. Wait, no, he's not. He's done. Wait, no, he's not. There we go. Yeah, that's much better. Love that. How it shines across the back like that. Why doesn't this side have that? Oh, because it's covered by the... I see. So we'll get it at the bottom. I think that looks like a pretty nice pally, huh? What a good girl. All right, so what I'm gonna do here put on a little grass and then we'll call it good. Sounds like I'm going to smoke a doobie, but that is not what I'm going to do right now. No judgments there. It's just not what I meant to imply. All right, pull this little boy out. I need like a really good brush cleaning situation, I think. because there is some of these brushes that need a little tender love and care. Because they have been destroyed by me over the years. Alright, let's see. Looking for... There it is. Sorry guys, I just realized I put my grass over here. Not me. All right. Just get out of the way. Feeling a little crunched in here. Yeah, thank you so much for that compliment about the white fur transitions. I worked really hard on them, and I think he's a sweet boy. All right, so we're going to do a quick basing job. So get this boy out here. Keep calling him, but this is a girl. We still need to name our pally. Oh man, I might have... I destroyed this once more. Here. Basically, I came in here and my cat had knocked my glue over. Now, it didn't pour out, but what it means is that all the glue has been sitting in the neck of this for some time. So I'm trying to crack it a little bit. Oh boy. Alright, what can I do here? I can do this, but this is not. So what I'm going to do carefully is to cut off the very tip and see. What I'm doing here, I don't recommend it to literally anyone. I just had a cat problem, so. All right, let's see here. Lord. Wow, this is just full of glue all the way down. There we go. Okay. Now, the trouble here is now there is a very wide neck for glue. So, I am a little scared, but we're going to do our best to just carefully handle it. Uh-oh. Okay. All right. Abort is what I just had to do. Just casual abort. Oh, no. Oh boy. Alright. So... Ow. Alright, so the thing that the glue does, and I feel like I say this every time, is it heats up. Hey, Caldefron! You're not getting any sound? Is that maybe just you because everybody else has been hearing me the rest of the time? Is your volume down? This is my dad, everybody, BT Dubs. Okay. Yeah, well, I wasn't talking before, so... Alright, I feel... So yeah, the glue heats up, so you gotta be careful when you put it on because it'll start heating the miniature up and you can sometimes burn yourself. Not terribly bad, but like it's kind of a shock if you have never had the experience before. Alright, so let's see. Let me get my thing so I can display him. Well, you know what I want to do, though, is add a little something extra because this miniature has a lot of room on one side, and so I want to add in... Let's see. Because I also kind of fucked up the feet, to be honest. So with a carefully hidden piece of brush, my friends, one can hide almost any defect in the creation process with a good bush. It's a strategy used for eons. Now it can get a little hairy here, so we're just going to be careful because, of course, now there's more, there's less like flat place to glue it to. Well, I could have just been muttering to myself, Father. You ever thought of that, my love? Yeah, we had quite the crew in here today, but we've slowly lost some folks over time. I think this might be a weird time for people to tune in. I tried a new time for this stream because I was a little hectic. All right, there we go. So look, so I've put in a little bit of brush here to give him a little more going on the ground. And I might put on some on the other side, but I want to... Just looks like this, right? And I believe this is called Summer Undergrowth is what this is called. And it's from the Army Painter. It's for battle. It's from their Battlefields line. And then this one I'm gonna put here, I think. it's crazy how good this is for just the tiny amount of effort it takes to base your miniature. So I highly recommend that, you know, folks do it. It just takes, it gives your mini an extra wow factor that people aren't expecting. Okay, now I have glued my miniature to the mat. There we go. That also can happen sometimes, so you gotta be careful. Alright, so here you go. Let's see if I can get him turned. I'm gonna get this like this, transitioned. And then let me put it so that you can see. A good pupper. Excellent. That. I think, like, even though this one kind of gave me some trouble, I think this might be one of my favorite doggies that we've painted so far. Let's have a look at the whole band together. Wow, I definitely have a lot of glue on my hands today, so it's a fun time. Alan donated $10! Thank you, Dad. That's so sweet. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. So here's our little group of doggies. I'm trying to tilt them upwards so that you can see. There we go. Look, we have our Bard, Wizard, and Pally. The party is coming together. The swirly bits? Yeah, it was a time. I basically dry brushed blue on top of the on top of the gold, and then I went back in with the gold and then painted over the parts that had gotten a little blue. It was not I would not call it a preferred method. Yeah, I would not call this a preferred method of getting those things in there. But I'm really proud of how these came out. There are still a lot more in this group to paint, so we have plenty of options for sure. Let's see, I'll turn them on their side maybe. Here, if I do this, you might be able to see them a little better. Yeah. Everybody's coming together. Awesome. Well, guys, this has been a relatively short stream, actually. I was trying to get this done in 3 hours, and I did it in under 3 hours, which is great. But it was definitely hard. Who have I got left? Let's see. Let us see. Hold on. God, I have so many minis over here. It's hard to give you guys a sense of it. All right. So far, I have left. I have the other Spaniel Bard. I have the Blue Heel Ranger, a German Shepherd Druid who looks super fun to paint. Surus, the St. Bernard Cleric. Beagle Barbarian, Pomeranian Monk, and Dachshund Sorcerer, French Bulldog. It just says French Bulldog. I think he's like a fighter. and then a corgi warlock, and a chihuahua rogue. Oh, geez. So there are plenty of more doggies for us to paint together in this whole group. But we are making our way through through the box over time, I think, for sure. Yeah, a whole lot of pups. Now, what I'd like to do is, because Amber has been such a huge support of this stream, she's gifted many of you subscriptions to the channel. Again, I would love if you guys would follow or subscribe if you haven't already, because we do a lot of fun things here. We do 4 different streams a week at least, so you will absolutely have content and supporting me either through tips to help me get my new mic that I'm working on, which, as you can see, I have my mic attached to my light right now because I kept on leaning down into it and then it got really loud and obnoxious. So we're still figuring things out here a little bit, but with some better equipment, things will get a lot more high quality, which I'm very excited about. But let's take this time to pay it forward to Amber, who was in chat earlier and is doing a stream now. So I'd really like to go raid her. I will be back on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern with an entire crew of adventurers for Starfound, which is our Starfinder actual play game. Some of you are here, I think, from the Naish, the fans of the Glass Cannon podcast crew, and I thank you for coming by. I hope you'll come by on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern because it's been an incredible adventure. I play Amaruk Yuka, First Claw of Clan Yuka, and she's so fun to play, and I really like to play her, and we are going to have to deal with some pretty serious shit moving forward, so it should promise to be an action-filled evening on Thursday, and on Saturday I'll be back singing with Twitch Sings. My entire schedule is in the info section, so you will be able to check that out there. I'm going to pull up a raid so that we can go get Amber and make her feel loved because darn it, she deserves it. And we'll go hang out with her for a little bit. Alright. Let's do it, everybody. You're going to get the notification in chat to go on this raid, so please join us. Alright, that's everybody. Let's go! Love you all. Take care of yourselves and wash your hands.